Yeah. Should we clap it up? 1, 2, 3. Nice.
Oh, I finally got an approval. It's nice to have.
Well, it feels the same as every other time, so I presume it worked.
Well, it seems to work, considering that, like, you seem to always edit these things well, so...
Yeah, well, that's good, that's good. I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, I'll try. But that's why we do the clap.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like, the clap feels like I know it's an STD or whatever, or STI, but like in colloquially, but it should be like the safety dance by Men in Hats or something. It should do like the clap song.
What's Men in Hats?
Men in Hats? Isn't it Men in Hats? The safety dance. The safety dance. You don't know that song?
No idea.
Hold on. Let me get my facts straight.
You're probably right. Safety dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, Men Without Hats.
Men Without Hats. There we go. Not Men in Hats. Men not in hats. Play it quickly. It's a great track.
Oh, was that in... Yes, I do. Wait, hang on. I do know this song, I think.
It's a great track. Such a vibe. Actually, I need to favorite that on Apple Music. Because that's a good song. But it's the song that's just like, the safety dance. Do the safety dance. I feel like we need a song about the clap. Do the clap.
No, don't play on Macbeth. Play on my phone. Sorry, you can edit this out later.
Technical buggery.
No, that's fine. Yes, I do know that song.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, instantly. That's like... I thought you were going to start singing. Ding, 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 ding.
I don't know what song that is.
Come on. I'll leave you to guess. No, that was terrible. That was probably, I don't know. You can edit all this out. I'm so fried. I can't speak.
That's all right.
What was that? I can't even remember what song that was now. Men at Work. That song. Anyway. I can't think of the name. Men at Work is the name of the band.
Right. But
cool.
We have a second half of an album to get through.
We do. Back to Pimp a Butterfly Part 2.
Yeah. So anyone listening out there, if you if this is your first episode, if it's the first episode you listen to about this album, I'd highly recommend going back to one episode before this in our feed, because you would have missed out on the first 8 tracks of Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. But if you are here for week 2, then you will already know that we are the Buds Podcast, and we have been listening to music for pretty much our whole friendship. And at one point we were rock stars and lives, yeah. At one point we were almost rock stars in a band, and now we're just about barely podcasters with the most hodgepodge upload schedule. But my name is Michael.
And I'm Kyle. And we're diving into part 2 of To Pimp a Butterfly. So, we're starting off with the track, Mama. Track 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I need that sloppy. That's sloppy. I need that sloppy. But it's such a great way to describe a groove, because it feels super sloppy.
It's just all of this.
There's like cowbell in there as well, or something.
That is a cowbell, I think. But so swanky, man.
Oh, yeah. Really good. I need that.
Yeah. Did you go listen to Jay Dilla?
No, I didn't listen to Jay Dilla.
Oh, that's
man, I listened to
that's another like Jay Dilla groove that
is that the drummer?
Yeah. Well, he's
yeah.
Jay Dilla's like he's a DJ, but like that he kind of he kind of coined this like specific feel of groove, like this very like kind of half swung, half timey sort of vibe. I don't know, not half time, but like a half, like a half swung thing, like very slinky, like yeah, kind of like I said
Culturally
last
back.
time, yeah, like kind of behind the beat. Anyway, that groove is like pretty much a Jay Dilla inspired groove. That's cool. Yeah, you listen to NWA.
I did listen to NWA. That was very, very old school hip hop. It was good stuff though. But it's like I was texting you about it. It's just like straight like scratches and 808s, and then a couple like other bass lines and stuff here and
Yeah.
there. But it's
Yeah.
good. I haven't like deep dived it, but I got the vibe of NWA.
But they were like the Beatles of hip hop and rap, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because they're the guys that like sort of brought it to the forefront. They were, you know. Oops. Pull my chair in. But yeah. So
Yeah.
this song,
Good stuff.
I'm just gonna dive in. I really dig the lyrics of this, and I really like the sort of like message of this one as well. You know, I think what I really dig about it is how he realizes that like he doesn't, you know, even with all his like fame and like life experience of like coming out of Compton, getting to like the big leagues, as it were, and then coming back to Compton, like that sort of like arrogance that you would think you would have of like, oh, I know everything. I know everything about this life. I know everything about like whatever. And then like coming back and realizing like, oh, like that was knowledge, not necessarily wisdom. You know, it's like I'm coming back, but actually problems are still the same. I thought I had it all figured out, but stuff doesn't change. And then that repeated phrase that like, I know everything. And then he lists all the things he knows about. But then like kind of when he goes back to his mom's house, you know, and he actually goes back. I was reading some of the research I like read about it. Like apparently he actually went, like his mom said to him, like come back to Compton and like speak to the kids and like, you know, so they can actually have a good like role model and see like that you can get out of like this, you know, like you can get out of this poverty and you can, and and that kind of realizing, you know, that life isn't as simple as just going, yeah, cool, I figured it out, you know, because there's always more complicated storylines and so like even when you go, like I said, like when he goes back, it's kind of okay, things don't always just change just because I've left, you know. And I suppose that would also then carry some sort of like guilt as well, because it's like he's left, right, and he's created this like great life for himself, and he's like financially free, and he's, you know, he's gotten out of like the projects basically. And I guess that would come with some sort of, yeah, I guess like a guilt of going like, how can I make this good? Like, what can I use this for good? You know, this fame and this money and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of like what I took from it. But then there was also like another side to it that apparently like he did a trip to South Africa, which, hey, it's our homeland.
Yeah.
And he had like a real sort of like spiritual, like not awakening, but like that kind of thing when he went to South Africa. Like he had this real sort of connection to South Africa. And then there was like some of the stuff I was reading, they were saying that this kind of when he talks about like going back to like mama is kind of like going back home. So like almost like going back to like his ancestral like roots and like homeland, and like seeing sort of like, you know, where his lineage like came from and like that kind of thing, and having that connection back to Africa, you know. And so yeah, I thought that was quite interesting as well as like another sort of layer to it of him also just seeing like we were saying in part one is kind of like, you know, there's these varying degrees of poverty, and I think like, you know, he comes from poverty in the US and the like sort of first world sort of poverty, and then he, I guess, like seeing third world poverty also then changes your perspective on a lot of things, you know, because seeing like a township is quite an eye-opening thing, you know, like
yeah,
Even like what is that thing I sent you ages ago with Biffy Clyro, you know, and they were asking them like,
Hmm.
where's your favorite, where's the like most amazing places you've been like on tour? And like they
Mm.
said like give us your top three. And Simon was like, oh, like Cape Town's number one. And
Yeah, we were
he
at that
said,
gig, man.
yeah, I know. And then he was like, and then, but it was interesting because what he said was, he's like, I've never been to somewhere so beautiful, but also so sad. Like seeing like
Mm.
the wealth and the gap is like right next to each other. Like it's just such a huge disparity. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's like there's wealth right next to like hand to mouth. You know, which is
Mm-mm.
quite a shocking thing when you've grown up in like a first world country or you've not experienced that level of poverty. I think.
Mm.
So anyway, yeah. So that was my sort of take on it. Um, but yeah, I liked it. It's a great track,
Yeah,
man. And
yeah. It makes me think.
his phrasing. Sorry, just one last thing. His phrasing in
Mm,
this
mm.
is so good. It's just
Oh yeah, yeah.
constantly like changing and like, oh yeah. I really dug it.
It
It's really
sounds like
cool.
conversational as well.
Yeah,
Like it's less of a song, and like he's like sort of externally processing and telling a story.
totally.
It's like a story in rhythm as opposed to having like written the structured song out, you know.
Mm,
And I find Jay-Z, because I mean we were talking about listening to 444.
mm.
Well, I'd like spoken to you about it, and the song which one is it? Um, I can't remember which song it is, but he's basically talking to his kids about things that he's done and
Okay.
like how he'd feel on the day that he has to explain to his kids what he did and why he did it. And
Right.
it's like his kids view him as a hero, and he can't stand to see that mask be taken off him in their eyes.
Hmm.
But the way he's like telling the story, it's like he's just talking and like it's conversation. Um, and yeah, it's really really cool, like sort of natural feeling rap. But what you were um talking about, like I think yeah, I fully agree with you. I mean, you did research as well, so it's hard to disagree with the research. But your take on the song as well, it feels like he goes from like his origin story and working up and like grinding to play stadiums and things, but
Hmm.
then coming back home and it's like this harsh reality check about his new identity as like a successful rapper. Um, and then sort of tying into the overall um, like metaphor of the album, like To Pimp a Butterfly.
Hmm.
Um, I got the to like summarize it as like don't let the butterfly get in the way of who the caterpillar was.
Well
Um,
said. Yeah.
and like what you were saying with going back and like his mom wanting him to go back and talk to the kids in Compton and stuff. Like he's even still now, if you listen to any interview he's in, he's like advocating so much for the art form of rap and what it represents to people on
Yeah.
the ground in the communities, and that it's like one of the only art forms that relates to people's lived realities,
Mm.
and which is why he raps in the way he does, and he includes a degree of like swearing and explicits, um, is because like that's the lived reality that people are in, and he's like speaking into that to help them see like new horizons and things, you know, and like new ways of what it means to be a black person and a black community in America. Uh, yeah, really
Mm.
cool. But what I was going to say is, it reminds when you were talking about his journey and like him coming back home, it reminded me of the scout camp I went on.
Oh yeah.
And it's like this leaders, it's like called PLTU, so it's like a leaders course. Um, and you go through it as a participant, like when you're in school.
Yeah.
And then once you've gone through it once, you can only go back as like a staff member.
Okay.
Um, and as a staff member, I learned as much about the course as I did when I was a participant. So like kind of going through it is like your first, it's like your I guess, um, sort of your first run through of the course, but you're in the middle of it. You can't see what's happening around you because you're so focused on getting the job done.
Yeah.
And then when you come back, you observe it from the outside, and you see all these dynamics at play. You see like how different people interact and different personalities lead teams in different ways, and you learn so much more about the experience from an outside perspective. And I feel like his going back home and seeing Compton after he'd become successful, it's like he's got this new perspective on what the home life is like, and he can speak into that in a unique way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
great
so
song.
true.
And that makes so much sense with why it's called Mama as well. I didn't realize it was like stemmed from a conversation with his mom, or like his mom, asking him to come home.
Yeah. Even references like well, I mean, he makes reference to like Compton all the time, but then
Mm.
did you say the way I'm rewarded? Well, that's God's decision. I know you know that line's for Compton School District. Just give the kids, don't gossip about how it was distributed. That's an interesting line. Like, just give it to the kids, don't gossip about how it was distributed. And I wonder
Yeah.
if that's him like saying like giving his like knowledge, to the kids, and almost like keep it under wraps. Like don't make it a big deal that I've come back to talk to the kids. Almost like I don't want it shouldn't be about me. I don't want like almost like I'm reading into this a bit, but like maybe he's saying like I don't want like media and like attention on this. This is just it's more about me just helping the community than like almost again like almost pumping out that like philanthropy. It's like he's not doing it to almost like big up his brand or his like his persona. It's a genuine sort of like I just want to help my community and these kids get out of the situation.
And that's so interesting. It's like such a contrast to these walls, where he used his influence to get back at a guy by sleeping with a woman.
Yeah.
But now that same influence is being used to help kids and like get them funds for what they need. But I interpreted that line as like almost like him criticizing other people for being like explicitly philanthropic when they give money, and he's like, don't argue about where it's come from. Like, just focus on the fact that the money is going to the kids, not about where it came from. Like, don't like the only other thing I can think of is in the Bible when Jesus is like, don't pray on the corner of the streets with your hands up. Like, just pray in quiet in your room. Like, it's the praying that's important, not like people seeing you do it.
Showing. Yeah. I remember that actually happened with Tyler Joseph as well at one point, because
he was praying on the streets.
Yeah. No, like people were going off at him basically like saying, oh, you need to use your platform to speak out against this and this and this and this and whatever. And he didn't. And then I remember like he does like it's so random, but he does this like live stream like gaming thing every Christmas, like him and Josh and like some of their friends, and they just do like a LAN basically.
And then old school LANs where you bring a computer and the cables.
Yeah, dude, that was sick.
That's good stuff.
I remember LAN, but they just basically like talk crap for like a couple of hours, and they raise funds. Like people can like donate, like they just literally sit there and play games, and they just talk like, and then Josh and him are like whatever. You can find it online. So cool. You can find it on YouTube. But anyway, the one year he like addressed that, like he actually said, there's been this like mounting pressure for me to like use my platform to say this XYZ or whatever. And he's like, I just don't really believe in kind of doing that. But he's like, if you really must know, like this is all the stuff I do. And then he just like went through like all this, like all the philanthropy and stuff that he does. And he just said like, I just do it. He's like, I don't need to, put a big spotlight on it and shout it like, oh, this is what I'm doing. And that's what like, and it was really cool. I just thought, yeah, that's really awesome, man. Like, you're just doing your music and then you're using whatever you have for good, but you don't make a big spiel about it. Like, it's not a big song and dance, drawing attention to look how amazing I am. It's just like within his community, he was running like like these basketball camps for underprivileged kids, and like I don't know, he had like a whole bunch of different things because obviously basketball is
That's
like
cool. Yeah.
one of his big passions as well. And like he was saying like how he did all these like different things within the community. But it's the same with Kendrick. Like I think that's really cool that they don't make a big deal about it. They just kind of go and they give back, and it's they don't draw attention to themselves. But I think that's awesome.
Oh, it's good stuff. It's good character.
And then verse 3 is cool when he talks about like how he met this little boy that resembled my features. And I think that's also just a callback to like, seeing the kids like in Compton, like in his community. And it makes it more real, like, cause it's not at a distance. Now it's like face to face, up close.
And it's funny how the kid says, "Oh yeah, don't kill my vibe. I forgot you're famous." It's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot you're this big shot now."
Yeah.
It's just like, you just come home, bro.
Sure. That's so cool. Don't kill my vibe, yeah. I used to watch on Channel 5. That's so cool. TV was taken. Yo, that's amazing. Nice. Anything else you got on that
one? No. Just it's one of those tracks when it starts, I kind of think it's like an album track. I'm like, oh, this feels like a background track. But then when it actually gets into it, this is like front and center, like hardcore, like message stuff. Like it's not got that quote unquote like pop song feel like other like big bops do in the album. It feels more subdued of a track, but it hits hard though when you like dive into it.
That's really cool. But again, it's just like layers upon layers with this guy, like in everything. It's really cool. Nice.
Hood politics.
Yes. Let me open up that one.
It's a great track.
I think we're just going to say that about every track.
I know, but it really is. It's a great track. It's just so like tasty and musical. Like there's...
I don't know why, but that intro, like those first couple of like notes, it just reminds me of John Mayer for some reason. I have no idea why.
It does.
And actually for a second, I thought like, it would be so sick
swing like John Mayer would use.
For a second, I actually went and looked, and I thought, I wonder if he played guitar on this, because he does his sneaky guitar, like
his little cameos
and stuff. So I thought that'd be really cool. Like I didn't know he played on Harry Styles' album until you told me. I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense.
As soon as I heard it, I was like, wait, on Harry Styles Cinema, I was like, wait, this sounds very John Mayer-esque. And then I was like, no, lo and behold, he's in the credits.
It's in everything.
But that's right, actually. It does sound very John Mayer-esque. It's got that swing, that like...
Kendrick, can you just do a song with Steve Jordan, John Mayer, and Pino?
Just Kendrick like rapping over John Mayer.
Literally, John Mayer trio and Kendrick just like rapping over it. My world would implode. Well, listen, it's not such a huge swing, because you've got Pino that
Robert Glasper on keys.
Bro, it's not a huge ask though, because 6 degrees of separation. You've got you've got Pino who played with and produced D'Angelo, and I think I sent this to you. Like, you can hear all that like in Kendrick stuff. You can hear Tupac, you can hear D'Angelo, you can hear like all those guys. And then, so if we, I say we, like we're going to organize this.
Just put the vibes out in the universe.
I'm putting it out there. Kendrick, if you're listening to this, which I highly doubt,
Butterfly effect.
If you can, get John and Pino and Steve on board, bro. That would be...
man, yeah.
I feel like that would happen at like a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing, something, that's where that would go down.
I would want, like, one track's not enough though. I need like at least 3 tracks. 3 live tracks of like just mashing up some of their songs together. Like Kendrick raps over some of John's songs, and then John plays over some of Kendrick's tracks.
Yo, dude, that would be.
It doesn't even have to be a brand new song. It just needs to be some sort of collab. And they're
That was
both kind of from. Although John's not from California, he's from. Is he from Cincinnati or something?
Connecticut. Was it Connecticut?
Connecticut. There we go.
Is he from Connecticut?
One
But
of the C ones.
now he's like. I know he lives in like Montana now or something. It's like in the country.
That guy just rides his own wave.
Dude, I mean, I probably wouldn't want to live in LA forever.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I've never been there.
He did for a bit though, didn't he?
You can. I'm sure they all do. Yeah, because I mean, I guess that's like
he had that like van. He turned into a studio or something the one time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did.
I remember seeing something about that. He like drove out to Joshua Tree and just like recorded in the desert or something.
It's so cool. That makes sense. So that's also actually, I mean, I say Pino, but I see on here that Thundercat played bass on this. So have you listened to Thundercat?
No, I've got a whole long list of things I need to listen to.
He's really cool. One of my students.
I keep forgetting to check out Thundercat.
Like one of my students gave me a whole. Actually, like when he's been with me for like 3 years now. But when he first came, like there was a Thundercat song he gave me as like a track he wanted to learn, and that was my like intro to it. I was like, dude, this is so cool.
Oh, yeah,
so rad. And he actually saw him in London like last year, I think. Yeah, Flip, dude. Crazy bass player, like crazy bass player.
Sufjan Stevens, a songwriter on this.
Sufjan Stevens.
Yeah.
Maybe he sampled something.
Maybe, I don't remember.
Because when you look through the liner notes of like this stuff, there's so many like. Often they'll have like they have a lot of samples and like all that kind of stuff. Even it's ridiculous. Even in like 21 Pilots, when that lean with it, rock with it, when you're going to stop with it, like that. That's though I don't know what rapper that was, but like they have to basically say in the liner notes that it's from this rapper and whatever. And
yeah,
doesn't credit him as a songwriter, obviously, but like
I've been here since day one. You boo boo, your homeboy, your block that you're from, boo boo. The hoes you went to school with, boo boo.
Boo.
Yeah, this song is
14 with the deuce.
And actually, funnily enough, like on the back of Mama, where he goes back home and is like an advocate and then speaks into the community and speaks for the community. This is a song that's basically him doing exactly that. So again, I don't know if it's just album flow why this song comes after Mama, or if it's sort of message and the evolution of what this album is about. Because now he's talking directly into the gang cultures in LA, and they're like these like cultures within the community fighting against each other and like infighting. But Kendrick's like challenging them to view the broader systemic and like governmental forces that are opposed to them and like not necessarily intentionally helping them out of that situation. So it's like they have for lack of a better word, they have a common enemy and it's not each other. You know, it's like the broader systems at work in the governments and in the country. So it's like leveling the playing field that they're on and not. So it's like, why are you guys fighting against each other? It's like, I didn't get an F about no politics in rap. And then he talks about like different like gangs and things like Alcos, Monte Carlos, Road Kings, Rip Riders, P-Funkers, Mexicans. Obama say what it do. Obama say what it do. It's like verse 2. It's like, I hopped out the caddy, just come out.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, okay.
Wait, I'm just reading some of this stuff, dude. Yeah. He's great,
it's
though.
like,
it's just, this is direct. Ain't nothing new but a flew of new demo crips and Republicans.
Yeah.
That's a clever line, man.
Yeah. Because like the Crips and the
They're more
Bloods are
Crips.
two
Yeah.
two gangs in LA. It's
Yeah.
basically like you
That's what I'm
guys
saying.
are.
That's brilliant. That's
Yeah.
such a clever like play on words.
Mm.
Democrips, and
And like they give us guns and drugs. They call us thugs.
hmm.
Make it a promise to F with you. Yeah, so it's crazy. So it's like, yeah, like he references a whole bunch of things. But um, yeah. What about you?
No, I didn't really have. I mean, this one's pretty straightforward. I don't think it's.
Mm.
I didn't have anything too different from that, to be honest. Hold on, let me check my notes. Yeah, I said like he's talking about like sort of like loyalties and which I guess then comes into the gang thing, manipulation,
Mm.
like you were saying with the governmental element. Um, I think also it's sort of like him, not quite conversational this one, but more like him just thinking out loud and almost like trying to like wrestle with this idea. Just him. He's just sort of like
Mm.
I almost get this image of I don't know why, but I get this image of almost like him just driving by himself, just talking to himself, like trying to work stuff out in his head. You
In the
know,
song.
yeah, like he's not.
Mm.
He hasn't said he's driving or anything. I just think like
Mm.
that's like maybe he's just like talking to himself and just trying to work this thing out in his head of like yeah, like the whole gang situation and
Mm.
why it kind of just is a never ending circle. Like it just keeps happening. It keeps,
Mm.
you know, starting over with every generation. There's just, you know what I mean? Like it never ends. It's kind of,
Yeah.
and why is that? You know, and then he kind of just unloads it all.
Yeah. I think there's an interesting dynamic in rap music where in like Western music, because I almost view it as like mirroring sort of different whites and black cultures within um like northern hemisphere societies, but like countries where white communities, it feels a lot more like insular and individualistic, um and there's, yeah, like everything's kind of viewed from a lens of um like my identity as one person,
Mm.
and like we have relationships and families and things, but a lot of it's like, yeah, what's my drive in life, what's my vision for what I want my life to be. I feel like this is without having spoken to people, but I get the impression that for a lot of black communities, because the the like further like longer history of a lot of black communities and black experiences is much more like through like oppression and, as like South Africans call, like previously disadvantaged and things. um there's much more of like a community identity, and that kind of goes to like tribalism and things. Like if you think of like African cultures and
Yeah, that's
all
what I was gonna
the
say. Like,
the different tribes and things.
I think it's definitely rooted in that. I mean, I think that's a huge
Mm.
thing because ancestrally, like, even now, like I told you, I've finished like Mandela's book. You know,
Mm.
it always goes back to that heritage and that sort of genesis is your tribe and what role you
Mm.
play in the
Mm.
tribe and that community within the tribe because everybody brings something to the tribe and that then contributes to the greater like
Mm.
whole, right? Like you said, it's not necessarily an individualistic thing, but at
Mm.
some level though, because I mean, even like within sort of like Christian communities, like in church communities, you've got that it's a community, and you're thinking about like the whole, not you individually. necessarily, right?
Mm.
But at some point, no matter what it is, you're always going to have an individual thing, because you're always going to think, like even Kendrick, like he could have not pursued this dream and stayed within the community and helped and better the community like that. You know what I mean? Like actually staying within the community and changing it by being there. But you also can't hold it against him that he found success and then went out, And at some point, you also got to be selfish on an individual level and go, okay, well, because like you could argue then that he's going, well, if this works, I have a much bigger like thing of resources and like financially and influence and stuff to actually help more. If he does it correctly, which it seems like he is, but like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's not always like like sort of poo-pooing like individual, like the individual thing, like because at some point you also have to look at yourself and it's that classic adage of like you need to look after yourself in order to look after other people. This as being a parent, like if I don't look after me, like I can't look after, and not in a selfish way, but I need to make sure that I'm okay and I can like I'm sort of functioning properly so that I can look after like wife and kids and then yeah, I don't know. I definitely get what you're saying though.
I was just saying that it's like
the West is definitely hyper individualistic, especially now, like in the last like 40, 50 years. I mean, it's crazy. It's like everyone's just out for themselves, and it is crazy.
And it's not gotten better with, even though technology has made us more connected. It's always felt more isolated, which is so ironic.
Social media is and all that kind of stuff has completely driven us, insular and inward, and yeah, I don't know. But yeah, sorry, you were gonna say.
No, I was just gonna say, like, because just on what you said earlier with him, because you said you imagine him like by himself thinking out loud about this stuff, where I can't. Like, I imagine him, I almost like can't imagine him writing something without like automatically thinking about how other people are going to see it. It's like, it's like he already writes knowing this is going to be audienced outwardly, or it's going to be spectated, So, and with how intentional he is, at least in like interviews and things with what he said, it's like, yeah, I can imagine this was written very pointedly for people to see, as part of like, because he says like in one of the MTV interviews I listened to, like just after this album came out, he said like he believes wholeheartedly that he's doing God's work and he's like God's mouthpiece, and he's not like writing this for himself, but he thinks he's got a message to give, I think like this is like part of him trying to be effective in that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then we come to the individual experience of things and the more big existential questions. This song, the way it just starts with the piano, it sounds like it's going to be a ballad. Yeah. And it just sounds so much more, it sounds like it has so much more gravity around the song immediately with just how it starts. Like whatever those chords are on piano, I can't pretend like I've got the ear to identify what those chords are anymore.
You'd be better than me.
And what's that? Is that like a clarinet or something holding that note? Oh man. There's a song called Mother I Sober, and I think I don't know if I've sent that to you.
I think you have
Mr. Morale
Oh
album,
yes,
which
yeah,
is the
yeah.
album, 2 albums after this. And that song made me tear up at work. I was listening to it, and like almost every time I listen to it, I get goosebumps at the end.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just so intense. Not like intense, but it's just emotionally, it like touches on so many things, especially now being a parent as well. Because I
yeah.
think he's a parent when that album comes out. Um, but
Yeah,
this
isn't that
song
his
has,
family on the cover?
yeah, I
He's
think
like,
it's the same photographer that photographed Justin Bieber
oh, cool.
and like his wife and kid.
Yeah,
Um,
nice.
but the song feels like it has the same gravitas as that song. You know, like it's like he's answering some real existential questions
That's awesome.
in this one.
No, this is the one where it's more of like a direct reference to South Africa because he
Mm,
mentions like indigenous African only spoke Zulu. My American tongue was leery. Walked out the gas station. A homeless man with a semi-tan complexion asked me for 10 rand, stressing about
mm,
dry land. I thought that was so cool. And then, yeah, just like his whole interaction with this homeless guy in South Africa, which again is like that's just so commonplace, right? Like I
mm.
always forget now because obviously we've lived in England for a while. Like every time we go home, I just I'm just shocked again at like how there's just begging at like every light, every
Yeah.
traffic light, every corner. Like
Do
it's
you remember
just
how many times
so
you could
crazy.
not park without someone trying to help you to park?
But it's still like that, man. It's just it's crazy. It's
And
crazy.
now I'll
Although
magically get in the spaces all by myself. I've got
although
like 5 cameras, but
what is kind of cool now though is a lot of I noticed this time was we were there like 2 months ago for listeners that are listening in. They because remember it used to just be like sometimes you would park up and then you would just see this random dude just like walk out the bushes and start like directing you. Like it wasn't
mm.
like an official guy. So now what a lot of like shopping malls and like places do is they actually employ the guys, which is so much better. So it's
Yeah,
not just
that's
like
good.
homeless guys that find a high vis and like come
Mm,
and like kind of do it. So they've actually employed them. So they're getting like a salary and it's not just like, somebody giving them like 5 rand or 10 rand or whatever.
mm,
It's so that's pretty cool. I thought that was really,
mm.
really awesome. Yeah,
It's a
giving
good
these
shift.
dudes a bit of a shot, instead of just
Yeah. It's like the big issue guys as well. I heard from,
mm,
I think it was a podcast I was listening to, but they were saying like actually like the big issue people, like they're genuinely trying to make a living for themselves, and that's like
yeah.
what brings value because it's work.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, you know what it was? It was I don't listen to every episode, but there's the Bold Politics podcast with Zach Polanski from the Green Party
Yeah.
in the UK, and he does a podcast like every week. And one of the ones he had on was a guy who was homeless. He was part of the homeless community, and then I can't remember his circumstances too much, but like he got help and he got out of that. But now he spent like his whole life advocating for helping the homeless community and like being a voice for that community, especially on
Nice.
podcasts and things where they can't always represent themselves.
Mm,
Um, and one of the things he was speaking about, just in the context of the big issues, is like don't just give money and think that you're helping. Like actually take the big issue,
mm,
because if you just give them the money, it's charity. But if you take the big issue, you're actually giving them value by with them being there because they've
nice. Yeah.
given out a product and things. Um, I can't remember how that tied into the original point, but somehow it made sense.
I'm trying to think now. I can't remember how that tied in. Well, I guess like with the homeless guy that he's talking to in the
Mm.
song, and he basically flips him off and goes like, nah, well, not flips him off, but like says no, like I'm not gonna kind of give you
Mm.
money, basically, because you don't know, that same old thing of like, well, you don't know what he's gonna spend the money on, and like, does it really help him if you just give him money? It's like
Yeah.
the same thing, you know.
And I alluded to this last week, but I mean, with both of us, like having um, spent a decent amount of time in church and like hearing the rhetoric and like the principle, rather, not the rhetoric, like the principle value of like giving and being generous with what we have. But then in South Africa, when you're confronted with so many people every single day,
Mm,
it's so hard to feel generous to everyone you see and not be numbed to the experience.
mm,
And it's like, where do you draw that line? Like, where do you keep giving or don't give until you like can't give, you know?
yeah.
Um, and it's really challenging. This whole, I just love the way this is basically like a big dialogue. It's like a Shakespeare scene that he's writing out.
Yeah.
And you got two actors in the scene. And he's just playing and like sort of outlining the whole thought process of having, but then giving, wanting to give to this guy, knowing that he's in need, but then knowing where the money's going to go, or making the judgment
Mm,
of where it's going to go, and then judging whether he can or should give the money based on what he assumes of the guy. And but then this guy just like asks him some just like really poignant questions as well, which is nuts.
yeah.
Starts making like pretty like intense intense questions and things. I actually want to pull up that Exodus 14 because I haven't read that in a bit.
Oh, I
I'm curious
pulled
what
it
it
up.
says now.
But it says
Oh,
that's just I pulled it up. That was and he just says Exodus 14, but there's no verse, right? He just says Exodus 14.
mm,
But that's like the whole um thing of where Israelites come out of Egypt and um the Egyptians are like Pharaoh's army is taken out by like Red Sea, or the parting of the sea, and like it's all of that.
mm.
So I was trying to figure out how that really plays into this. Don't really get.
This data is good podcasting.
It's chat amongst
Yeah,
yourselves while we read this.
I was really thinking about that. It's really interesting because the homeless guy starts like pulling out some pretty intense questions and statements um about like it's almost like he's got a very rich sort of understanding of the Bible, and he has like a very sort of firm understanding of what the character of God.
Mm.
And he just like throws that at Kendrick in such a disarming way. And then he even goes to refer to himself as Jesus.
Yeah.
You're looking at the Messiah, the Son of Jehovah, the higher power, the choir that spoke the word, the Holy Spirit, the nerve of Nazareth. I'll
Well,
tell you just how much a dollar cost.
I think it's more a metaphorical, like a metaphorical thing of this, almost like God testing his humanity. Of like, so I don't think that. I think he's writing it from a point of like, I don't think that guy literally said that stuff to him. You know what I mean? I think he's almost like imagined, like it. He obviously was confronted by this homeless guy asking for money, and then I think he's obviously gone away and thought about it, and then almost like written it from the point of view that this was God, like asking him for the money to see like where his humanity's at. Like, would you actually give the guy money? Would you actually show compassion and like, like help him? And then I think then it's just him going on this like deeper dive of like, referencing these Bible verses and getting a bit more like sort of existential.
Because what is it, Matthew? It's like Matthew 6 or Mark. I think it's Matthew 6. Matthew's full of the teachings and parables and things. But there's that parable of the sheep and the goats. Are you familiar with that one? I'm sure you would be. And the goats will say, I mean, I'm going to paraphrase like a boss here, but it's like the sheep will be led into heaven, and then the goats will come up to Jesus and say, "Oh, Lord, Lord, like we've, loved you as well." And then Jesus told me, like, "But when I needed clothes, you didn't clothe me," or like, "When I needed food, you
Yeah.
didn't feed me," So it's like basically treating all the people around you that have a need, like treating them as if they are Jesus,
Yeah.
or as if you would be doing those things to Jesus. And when I heard this, I thought that guy was playing on that parable.
Right.
Like
Yeah. I mean,
you're looking at
that's not far off. Yeah. I would agree with that.
the yeah. I mean, who knows what Kendrick was thinking specifically, but it's just like, yeah, it's like a pretty hardcore slap with reality. And then the chorus at the end is just, "I wash my hands, I said my grace. What more do you want from me? Tears of a clown. I guess I'm not what it's all meant to be."
But I also
And
think
it's
the contrast, I think, is also so massive because, I mean, we feel wealthy and stuff, like when you're confronted by in South Africa, because obviously we've grown up not wanting, which we're very blessed to have had that, we didn't grow up like in poverty. And so when you're confronted by it, like we feel like, oh my word, oh well, I certainly have been confronted with, wow, like I actually have a lot, even though sometimes I think, oh, maybe I don't, but actually I have a heck of a lot. So can you imagine, like, for Kendrick, like he's like a multi-millionaire, like huge international, like
yeah.
artist, and then the two worlds are so ridiculously far apart, and you're confronted with this like poverty, and the guy's asking for like 10 rand. So what's that in dollars? I mean, that's like,
Yeah. Well, it's $8. Also, I mean, less now, but back
yeah,
then, this was like 11 years ago.
exactly, yeah. So like, it's crazy. I reckon it'd probably be less than $1. It's 2015. We were earning dollars then.
Yeah, we were actually.
And it was
2015, those would have been Aussie dollars.
That's
Although
true.
there would have been American dollars later on.
But it was definitely more than 10 rand to the dollar. It was like 15, 16 rand.
Like, yeah.
So anyway,
but yeah,
I mean, that's irrelevant, but still, like it's, it's just interesting though that he actually says the amount, like guy asked for 10 rand, which I think is also a point, because it's saying that it's not actually that much. And he still was like it's like 50 cents to him. And he's going like, okay, well, no, I'm still not going to give you that because I don't know what you're going to do with it, Whereas like even now when I go home, like I'll tip people, like, because obviously the rand to pound thing is just so ridiculous. It's like monopoly money. Like I will just like give somebody like 100 rand, like easy, not even think about it, because that's not much. That's like £5. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting that he still was like, I don't know, because I still don't know what you're going to do with it,
Yeah. But it's the whole thing. It's sort of like, because he makes so many comparisons. Oh, what does he say?
But also,
moonshining and gin. You're babbling, your words unflattering. I'm imagining Denzel, but looking at O'Neill. Kazam is sad thrills, your gimmick is mediocre. I don't know what he's trying to say there, but it's like I don't know. Now I'm just externally processing, and I'm actually not making sense to myself because I'm trying to figure this out.
But one thing strikes me though is it's like his compassion and his like his almost like emotional intelligence to realize like he does feel guilty about it, even though it's such a little amount of money. It's more than that. It's not really about the money. It's like he immediately feels guilty of like, like why? Almost like, why couldn't I give him that money? It's not about giving him the money and what he's actually going to do with it. It's like, why couldn't I give him the cash? Like, why couldn't I just help the guy? He's just asking for 50 cents, essentially. Like,
it's like a deep spiritual question for him as well. He's
It's
doing
like,
like some really intense reflection.
yeah. There's a Dave Matthews song as
Hmm.
well where he says something like that, and I think it's also in reference to like him going back to South Africa, where he said like I was sitting at like the lights. I don't know. I'm also going to paraphrase this probably horribly, but he basically says like I was sitting at the lights and the guy was looking at me asking for $1 or something, and he's like, and I made myself look busy until the light turned green, you know. And I think that's something I can relate to in South Africa as well.
Yeah, dude.
It's like you just, you almost don't acknowledge the person there, which is awful, actually.
Yeah.
But
No,
again, like you say, it's just so much.
Yeah.
There's just so much of it at home. Like you just, eventually it sounds terrible. And it's hard for people who've not been there or haven't lived there to understand. But it's like you can't give to every single person. And you also like, it's such a tricky. So I can relate to Kendrick on this.
It's overwhelming to
overwhelming
like
is a good
think
word.
about to think about like starting to tackle that. Like you need like and like like you're right, like people don't quite realize, especially in the UK, because like maybe once or twice living here I've had someone at robots waiting, like walking up and down.
Robots.
At robots, at the traffic lights. Sorry, we call them robots in South Africa. We don't have little men in silver costumes showing us when to go. I
calling them robots, but everyone laughs at me. So
it's good.
I've just gone back to calling them traffic lights.
But in South Africa, like every single traffic light you hit, there'll be 2 or 3, and then often there'll be like parents with young kids sitting there.
Yeah.
And it's emotional blackmail like no other, but they literally have nothing else to do, so they just sit there like the whole day long just watching cars go by, just hoping someone gives them money. And then you just hope and pray that if you do give money, the parents actually use it to feed the kids.
There was a whole scandal. There was a whole scandal about that, though.
Really?
A couple of years ago, my mom was telling me it was like all in the news and everything, where they actually did like an undercover like sting thing, like operation, because it was all like a coordinated like scam, basically. Those parents with the kids at robots. It was basically like not a gang, but like a little syndicate that they were basically making crazy amounts of money, and they would park like somewhere, and then they would like basically get dressed for the day and like make themselves look dirty, and like they would get the kids and like make them look like really like, sort of dirty and clothes torn and whatever. And then they would sit at the robots for like the entire day, and they would earn like stupid amounts of money. Anyway, they got bust. It was like being run by like a couple of dudes, and it was like a whole thing.
That's
insane.
Like,
it was nuts. So yeah, man, crazy, like, crazy stuff.
The extent people will go to make money.
I know, and like you said, that's emotional. That's totally emotional blackmail. It's like, it's hectic stuff, man. Yeah,
because it's genuine.
And not all of them are like that. Obviously, there's
so then who do you trust? It ruins it for people in that actual situation who really need money, and then you just stop trusting anyone on the side of the road.
Also,
that's intense, man.
For people to also realize like there's also a danger. I've heard of people being hijacked and stuff when like people have come to beg, and then they like wind down their window, give them money, and then they like hijack their car. So that's another element in South Africa that you also just don't really know about here. It's like you don't like. I didn't even think about that in England ever.
Yeah,
never think about getting hijacked.
I mean, you've got to be in a really dodgy part of London at night to.
Even then,
risk
I don't think it's like.
I don't feel nervous, but it happens. Like there are hijack statistics.
Yeah, sure.
But it's just far from. It's not like Joburg or anything, or like Cape Town, Pinelands.
Joburg stuff is like Joburg's like so brazen, man. Like they just like even one of the guys in our church, he was telling me like he got hijacked and like but he was in like bumper to bumper traffic, and he said for some reason like he just grabbed like his stuff. The guy like had the gun at the window, and he like his wallet and phone and just threw it to the back seat. And he was just like, I don't know why I just did that, but he just threw everything to the back seat. The guy still had the gun at the window. And then he just like ran to the next car because it was bumper to bumper traffic. So he just ran, like didn't even bother like getting my mate's stuff. He just like went to the next car. It's just like,
What?
yeah, they're like just so brazen, dude. It's crazy. Joburg's like that's a whole nother world. Like, I don't know. But yeah. No.
I'm excited to go back and visit family, but I'm so nervous, especially with Sheree and Stevie.
No, dude. Cape Town's so different, man. Cape Town's so different. Like, it really is. Like, obviously, it's still dangerous in parts, but you being a Cape Townian, you'll know, like, where not to go. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, generally, like, driving around and whatever and going out and doing stuff, it is safe. I mean, we could do a whole nother podcast on this, but it's so like, because the DA runs Cape Town and the Western Cape. So it's a very different feel. The minute you leave the Western Cape, it's like, it's a whole different vibe. It's just completely different.
Sure.
Yeah. But anyway.
Well, that was.
Got us talking.
This track though. Is complexion really spelled like this all the time with an X?
I didn't think about it until you just said it. Is it?
Because not many words have an X in the shun.
I don't know how to...
Because I think crucifixion can be spelled with an X as well.
Well, crucifixion is spelled with an X.
Oh.
Complex. I don't think it's complex, like LECT.
Complexion.
Complex.
Complexion don't mean a thing.
Yeah, it is spelled with an X.
Interesting. It's a Zulu love. I wonder where in South Africa he went.
He definitely went to Cape Town because I read a thing where he went to Robben Island. And then I don't know where he went after that. So
he references that in the song as well.
Yeah, he went to Mandela's cell. And
I've been in there as well.
Have you?
That was fun. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, fun. It was an experience.
Yeah. I've never been.
I mean, I was a kid, so it was fun. But being an adult is not going to feel as fun and joyful.
No, I never went. My dad used to live on Robben Island.
Live on Robben Island?
Yeah. Because it was an army base.
What is it for?
It was
better fun.
Yeah. No, I know. I think that every time I say it, I'm like, I've always waited for someone to be like, oh, was he in prison? It's like, no. No, he was like, I actually don't know. I don't even know if the prison was on Robben Island when he lived there. He lived there when he was a kid because my grandfather was like a general in the army. And so
hectic. Yeah.
He was like an army kid. And so they moved everywhere. They lived on the bluff in Durban for like a couple of years. They lived everywhere.
That's where Peter's from.
Yeah. They lived everywhere, man. They kind
of tough from the bluff, smoke the stuff.
Yeah. They lived like all over South Africa. So that's why, like, I think
that's
when
cool.
My folks got married, they were like, we're not moving. Like, my dad was like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, we're staying. We're staying right here. And like,
nice.
Yeah. I mean, we still traveled and stuff, but like, he was just like, I'm not moving all over the place. So yeah. Yeah. So he lived on Robben Island for like a couple of years. Had to get the boat, like, to go back to town to get groceries every like Saturday with my gran.
That's mad. That's so cool.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. But yeah, that's my little connection.
I love this track, but for some reason I have 0 notes on it, which is very helpful for me.
Well, interpret it.
I've listened to it so much. I feel like I know it so well. I've just not made any specific notes. I have to say, Rhapsody's, if that's her name, her rap in this is so good. It's so like polished and it's just well executed. Her rap voice makes me think of it's got that like clean, crisp polish to it, like Jay-Z's rap voice.
Yeah.
Oh, is that like a bass guitar or something that plays that groove? Are you okay? You're listening?
Yeah, I'm just listening to it. Yeah, what is that? I don't know. That's interesting. I'm wondering if
It
that
almost
sounds a bit more drum machiney, but I don't know actually. There's like I thought maybe that.
because it almost sounds like a bass guitarist is like holding chords and like arpeggiating the chords.
Yeah, I
Like,
hear that, but then that there's definitely a snare because there's a crack, like a. It's almost like an altered clap. That snare drum. It sounds like they've put that through like a pedal or something.
oh, the like big
Yeah,
crack in the background. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, which is like it's supposed to be a snare sort of sound.
I've never noticed that before. It's so layered, man. This music. The first time I heard this song, I felt like it melted my brain. I was like, what is going on? I can't
Mm,
identify one instrument, but it all just sounds so, so good. I mean, I could identify bass guitar and drums, but it was like, it didn't sound like a typical bass guitar and drums.
right.
Um, it just sounds so good. So much going on. And then the like 6 vocal layers going at every one time.
Oh, it's a cool track, man. Complexion don't mean a thing. It's a Zulu love. What does Zulu love have to do with it?
I think he's referencing um like like and you know how in previous songs or in one of the previous songs he referenced that it's Ken Kunta, because there was Kenta Kunta that he referenced about
Yeah.
like his feet getting cut off and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's a different sort of metaphor or um reference going on here, because he keeps referencing I made a flower for you out of cotton just to chill with you. Um, and then he says, sneak me through the back window. I'm a good field buster. And
Hmm.
like field and cotton and mm, it it sounds like he's referencing cotton fields, like the slave trade when they would pick cotton by hand.
Mm.
And then, let the Willie Lynch theory reverse a million times with. So the Willie Lynch theory, I actually searched this up.
Yeah.
So there was this Willie Lynch letter, which was um, it circulated online. I'm reading like an article now, or like an AI thing. um, but the Willie Lynch letter is it's like circulated online as a 1712 speech by a British slave owner called Willie Lynch, but it's
Okay.
actually like debunked, and it was written in the 1990s. But it was circulated as this like thing. So the letter describes psychological methods to divide enslaved people against each other by age, skin tone, gender, and geography, creating distrust and
Uh,
dependency on enslavers. So it basically turns slaves against one another, so they have
right.
to lean onto their slavers. Um, the idea was that internal division would make rebellion less likely.
Mm.
So like there's that um,
Yeah. Well, that's sort
dynamic
of
in
what
play
he.
about.
That's sort of like what he touches on here is like, well, I guess the name of the song is complexion, but like the
Mm,
varying
mm,
degrees of black and brown. Like it's you
mm,
get like like he says here, it's like black is brown, hazelnut, cinnamon, black tea, and it's all beautiful to me. It's just
That's Rhapsody.
basically,
Yeah.
it's just like one community, one culture. It's not,
Mm,
you know,
mm.
it's like you can't have like sort of division on the inside.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which also ties back into the previous track, I think. No, 2 tracks back, Hood Politics,
Yeah.
about like gang politics and like divisions between communities and things, based on like
Yes, that's true.
Crips or Bloods. Um, but then, or I find um, the outstanding thing. I mean, apart from like the crazy music, like the music is ironically complex in the song
Yeah.
called Complexion. But it's like so easy to listen to. But again, just like trying to. Oh, there's like tambourines in the background and everything. But yeah,
Oh,
Rhapsody's verse in this, it's so good. Her phrasing and everything is amazing. And it's interesting that she references Jay because the whole time I'm listening to her, I think, oh, this sounds so much like Jay-Z. I know I said that earlier,
mm.
but it's like her style or something. It's got that.
It
I ain't
does sound
talking
like
J.
Jay-Z.
I ain't talking B. I'm talking days without watching movie screens.
That's so cool,
And,
man.
and spite your
Yeah.
self-esteem, the new James Bond gonna be black as me. And then I thought about Queen Latifah when she
Oh
says,
yeah.
"Call your brothers magnificent, call all the sisters queens. We're on the same team, blues and pyros, no colors, anything." Because Queen Latifah's got a whole track about like she has a not in a Martin Luther King kind of way, but like she has a dream or like
Oh yeah.
she's like envisioning a new community or new thing, and she's like in this song she's talking about a whole new community of black people, and there's like all these dynamics of generosity and kindness and love where at at the time of her writing it, it's like a lot of like men using women using men, and there's like manipulation in these relationship dynamics and things, and distrust and all that. Um, but in her like dream song, she's like thinking up a whole new way of living together, and I kind of got a bit of that air in this track as well, which is really cool.
Very cool. I like this song. It wasn't as
That's really
like
good.
much of a standout as like some of the others, but
Mm,
you know what I mean? Like some of them are just like in your face, boom. And you like I
mm.
don't know, this one was a bit more subtle.
Mm. It was a bit in my face for me when I first heard it.
Oh yeah.
It's like, whoa, just like the whole arrangement and composition of it. It's just, yeah, it was good. But
Nice.
yeah, the blacker
On
the
to
berry, the sweeter the
Sweet of the
juice. The
Juice.
blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. I had that stuck in my head a couple of days ago, like before we were recording this, because I was listening to the music.
Oh yeah.
And Shrey was like, if you say that line one more time, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So I hit a line there, and I had to, for my self preservation, pull
what did
back.
she what was she gonna do to you if you said it one more time?
She was going to be bleak at me, and then I'd have to deal with a less favorable mood.
I like how you put that, a less favorable mood.
I try and be diplomatic where I can. Um, oh yeah, this one. So I'm just listening. I've got to listen to it to like remind myself of.
I know, me too. Even though I've listened to this album like a bunch, I still like it's always the end tracks for some reason. Like I always get stuck
Yeah.
on like every album we do. Like it's like the last like four or five tracks. Like I always like get it's like the first half I like really like listen to loads. But no, this is cool. Dude, the drums on this. There's like a weird what's the there's an effect I'm trying to think of, but it sounds like they just
Sounds
put
like
it on like the whole kit. It's like
it sounds like really compressed,
mm,
almost like squashed and slightly overdriven.
oh man, who played drums on this? Because this is so cool.
Almost sounds like fuzzy as well. Like there's a lot of
Yes, that's what I mean. Like it's
yeah.
definitely like a fuzz.
Ronald Brunner, Ronald Bruner Jr. Oh, drum programming Catalyst as well.
So it probably isn't a kit.
Well, it seems like there might be a kit because someone did play drums.
Okay. Yeah, mine doesn't. Nice. It's hard to tell as well because some of those like native instruments, man, you can make it sound so legit, like it's just a drum machine.
Yeah.
But like I
Yeah,
said,
this song.
oh no, I was gonna say at least like in part one, like I was saying, what's so cool with these guys like Jay-Z and Kendrick and stuff, it's like the live band element just makes it There's so much
Oh
good,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Like when they play live.
yeah. It just makes the music feel so much more alive as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, like you can feel, and like I can imagine for the musicians playing in the band, like buying into the music and the scene and the culture. It just
Mm.
adds to the whole like product of the album, the record as a whole. Instead of just like one guy programming all the music and then one guy rapping, you've got so much more energy from different bodies and people onto one record, which I think
And I
makes a
think,
difference.
yeah, I mean, completely. But I also think it like for like as the rapper, it's almost more musical. Like for the rapper to
Mm,
be
mm,
like backed by an actual live band. Like I noticed that when I
mm,
watched that one performance he did on, I think it was Colbert, I think,
mm-hmm,
or whatever. When he did, I think he did like a medley, but I think they started with like King Kunta,
mm,
and it was like just so like there were all those breaks and like hits and stuff, and the drummer was flipping
mm, mm,
on it, like dude, like so tight, and that like his vocal phrasing and stuff just seemed so much more musical because it was just tied into like actual guitars and like live musicians, you know.
mm.
I found that with Jay-Z too. Like when I saw Jay-Z, like he was just yeah,
Oh, I'd love to watch him live.
so much more musical, man.
Mm.
And yeah, I mean, he was stupid, like flipping horn section and everything it was so cool.
One of my
Okay,
favorite
we get to the next one.
tracks to listen to is there's One Thing by Amory.
Yeah,
And I know you all know this song. Oh yeah, just play that. Just stop playing that song quickly. You'll know exactly what song it is.
what is
But
it?
the end, it's One Thing by
Yeah,
Amory.
Anne Marie.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Oh yes, 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 yes,
Down,
yes.
daka, daka, down, daka, daka, down.
The drums.
Oh, the energy with the guitar and the drums. One of my absolute favorite tracks to listen to, just for the energy. It sounds like the whole thing is just in the one big live room. Oh, it's just so nasty. Oh,
Yeah, that bell.
yeah. It just sounds massive. It's like huge energy.
Yeah, dude,
And you know that drum is whacking that drum kit so hard.
that is so cool.
Oh, I love it.
That groove is so
Yeah, that
cool,
was
man. Oh,
such a cool group. Okay, that was a little detour. But actually, kind of, the energy in Black the Berry is like that. I feel it's like, I don't know if aggressive is the right word to use, but I can't think of any other adjective, but it feels like the most aggressive, like high energy song. Like, almost like stemming from like anger or something. Um, or like anger at like injustice.
mm.
Oh, I was pushing play, but I've got Anne-Marie still on. And even like his performance as well. His performance seems so much less. Um, it seems like less contained almost. Like it's just
Yeah.
kind of falling out of him. Like the way
Oh,
he's like
there's so
almost
much
screaming into the
aggression.
microphone.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
much aggression in this, like pent up.
And like the different metaphor he uses for like how black he is,
Mm.
and how like that's counted against him, and like his experience of how that's his and like other people in his community's like experience of how that's been used against him in different ways, or like used to justify certain ways of thinking or talking, and like throws out all these like yeah good what were we gonna
But
say.
also the fact that he describes himself as a black man and like that he's proud of that too. Like the fact that he's also just saying like this is me, like take it or leave it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
and then that question like you hate me, don't you?
mm,
And it's like he's questioning that and throwing it in your face, making you confront it.
mm.
But he's also not backing down from who he is, which is cool. Like that's Yeah.
And then the chorus, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, and then the blacker the berry, the bigger I shoot. And it's almost like kind of it's like the message has evolved as the albums progressed to the like interracial conflict and how because at the end it talks about um how where is it now? I'm gonna find the lines. But he hints, or rather hints explicitly, about how the blacker a black man seems, the like it's saying what I said before anyway, but like racial politics, even like between different tones, so like complexion, it's almost like a runoff of complexion. So complexion like lays out the issue, and then the black of the berry
Mm.
is just a much more um like literal interpretation of that, you know, on the nose, you would say.
On the nose, yeah. It is a bit on the nose, this one. Yeah, I don't think there's any sort of like metaphors or anything in this. This is just straight up like he's just calling it as he sees it.
Mm. Oh, fun story. I don't know if you um, picked up on this in any like interview or anything,
Mm.
but um, they said they treat me like a slave, call me black. Well, they feel me a whole heap of pain, call me black. You know, the
Yeah.
Jamaican chorus over the top. This track was written and produced, and then was sent the producer. I don't know who produced this one. Um, who might have produced this one? I don't know. Oh, maybe like Top Dog or something. But the producer was like, we got to get some Jamaican like feel over this. So they
That's
just sent
cool.
this track to I don't know which who it was in Jamaica, or like which Jamaican artist they sent it to. I can't identify like which his was his name. But he just sung this over in the gaps where there were gaps, and he like wrote that chorus and just like overdubbed it on the song.
That is
Um,
so cool.
and yeah, so that's how that got in there. He wasn't actually necessarily in studio when they did the song. He just like did it over the top. Oh, how see the whip left scars on my back, and now we have big whip parked in the block. Huh. All them say we doomed from the start. Call me black. Remember this, every race. Start from the black. Just remember that.
Mispronounces Kosa in this though.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Kosa.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
funny how Zulu and Kosa might go to war. I'm like, no, bro. It's Kosa.
I've watched
It'd be
Amazing
so
Race.
cool if he had
and
like clicked that, bro. If he had actually like
yeah,
got the
Xhosa.
click in there.
Zulu and Xhosa.
That'd be so cool.
Um, I watched the Amazing Race ages ago, and they obviously like went through Africa, and there were like different sort of clay huts, appropriation, like but whatever, clay huts with like different tribe names on. And one of the Americans was like, "Oh, maybe we should go visit Xhosa. maybe there's something in there. Maybe
Xhosa.
there's a clue." Like
That's funny.
that's one way to pronunciation.
Xhosa. To be fair, I don't know how I would pronounce that if I didn't know.
Yeah, true.
That's like it's like pronouncing Nicola's dad's name. If you don't, if you just see it at face value, you're like, huh? Like, where do I start with that? It's crazy.
I find it interesting that he keeps saying, "I'm the biggest hypocrite of 2015." When I finish this, if you listen, then sure you will agree.
Yeah, I don't know.
African American and African, and black's the heart of the Aryan. Black's the name of Tyron. Tyron and Darius, they're like, sort of, almost like what's it called? When they're like often used as like fill-in names for black people, like they're distinctly
Okay.
black. Like if you see Tyrone or Darius on like a CV on a job application, then it's for people. It's like hard to not be prejudiced by knowing that they're most likely black people. But I think it's like almost like a figure of speech, like when people use those names in um, text or something. Then I don't know. I read something up about that because I was wondering who Tyrone and Darius were, but they actually aren't specific people. It's more the idea of names that are distinctly black
Okay.
by association, you know. Yeah,
Nice.
I mean, I feel like much like Dave Matthews and Jeff Buckley Grace, the songs just end up. It's just another love song. This is just another song about like racial injustice and politics and things.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously a major theme of the album. So I think like every song pretty much touches on that or touches on it, like deep dives into most of that. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm like I don't really have many notes on that because it's I mean it's sort of the same thing as a couple of the other tracks.
I think what I find interesting is just the range of emotion and the range of response to it, because even songs like All Right are about the same thing, but the feel of the song is just entirely different and the message is so different. And then you go from All Right, where like all the stuff's happening, but we're gonna be okay, to The Black of the Berry, where he's just like outwardly furious about it and he's just calling out everyone and just like lashing out, you know. Just like the range of response to it, it's quite human, which I really appreciate. It's like relatable. It's almost like the Psalms, like this. You can have so many Psalms and like so many different things, but there's or like a collection of Psalms about the same thing, but the range of responses to that one thing can vary so much.
Yeah, it's totally human. I mean, some things you know, it's like one day you can wake up and feel like things are really overwhelming, but you feel hopeful and joyful and like, okay, things will be okay. And other days you're just totally overwhelmed and you've just let it overtake you and you just lash out and just go like, this sucks. Like, when is this ever going to end? When is this, you know, I think that's just human nature. And so you just, I think that's such a relatable thing. You ain't gotta lie. Mama said.
Mama said.
Okay, let's see. We see these lyrics. Oh my gosh. Come on.
The song almost musically, it almost feels like let's gather ourselves again and play a song together, where like the Black of the Berry was like, get him away, I got something to say, move out the way, just get the track down, whatever. And then this song's like, okay, take it easy, let's just groove again. I find it interesting how much of the song is chorus as well. Like the chorus is quite a big part of the song, where in other tracks the verses can take up more space.
Yeah.
At least in terms of like the amounts of lyrics they are. But this one you got like, you ain't gotta lie to kick it, you ain't gotta lie, you ain't gotta lie. Ask where the holes at to impress me. Ask where the money bags to impress me.
Also,
I found like
no, go.
No, I was gonna say I found this song was sort of like all about putting up fronts to save face. It's like the chorus, like asking where the ladies are at to impress me, asking where the money bags to impress me. You say you got a burner stashed to impress me. It's all in your head. So it's like someone in like having the interaction with Kendrick is like using phrases and things that would normally be used in like the streets in Compton to show that they belong and that they're like hard, you know, like hard men. But you ain't gotta lie to kick it. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta try so hard. Like just chill out. Just be yourself. Like you don't have to play the game to fit in. You know.
I mean, it's just it's basically just authenticity, right? Just being real.
Yeah, there you go.
and being
Mm.
yourself.
Mm.
Because I guess people will think that they need to act a certain way, instead of just being who
Mm.
they are. And again, like that contradiction of like him being famous and coming back to his roots and coming back to his hometown. And now, like people will treat you differently
Mm.
just because you've been successful or you've done
Mm.
something
Mm.
different, or you've made a success of yourself. Now people treat you differently or act differently around you when really you
Mm.
just, like it sounds like through this album, like he still feels like he's connected to, where he grew up and the people that he grew up with.
Mm. Mm.
And it must be a tricky thing to go back and then everyone's just sort of treating you differently and
Mm.
treating you like you're something different, but you're really not. You're still the same
Mm.
person, just obviously with a much broader perspective on life now that you've like had the successful career and you've traveled and you've been to all these crazy countries and like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it must be so weird. Like I often think like that about like someone like Sia Khaleesi, like,
Mm. Mm.
where he comes from absolutely nothing. And then he's like flipping, he would have never thought that a kid from the township would be playing in like a World Cup in like Japan, It's
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
other side of the world. And like, it's just such a crazy, it must be such a crazy experience that,
Mm.
um, yeah, but so awesome. Like so inspirational and like, yeah, just incredible. I had a note here, performative coolness. That's what you were saying,
Yeah.
like
It is
about
though.
using all the right lingo and like jargon, just
Yeah.
sort
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
like, yeah. Gee.
And the line hits hard as well when um what did he say? Oh yeah, and the world don't respect you and the culture. Oh, the song. Sorry, I just remembered. There is a monster like offbeat drum moment when I think it's on that verse actually. And the world don't respect you and the culture don't accept you, but you think it's all love. Let me find that quickly. We've got to listen to that together. Um, oh, so good. 222 or 220.
220.
Oh, it's like the music cuts out for like a whole 2 seconds. And then he just comes in. What do you got to offer? Tell me before we offer. Put you
Mm,
deep in the coffin. Oh my word. I love that every single time. Oh, it's so good. It's moments like that just bring me such joy. Oh, it reminds me exactly of John Mayer when you in the John Mayer live show, the really long one from
oh yeah,
2007,
yeah, 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 yeah.
when he's in that blues trio and he plays that little guitar so boop, 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 and then he comes in with
Oh,
Jordan on the drums. It's one of
dude,
those just like little, it's the smallest sweet moment in music. But, oh, it's so good. Um,
that is really cool. And it's cool because
yeah.
that song like rhythmically is quite monotonous. Like it just keeps the same the
Mm,
the,
mm,
the,
mm,
just that like same backbeat. And then just those little breaks, man, in the position. Like you need
mm,
that position to be perfect. And then that
mm,
break is just and it just like changes, like
mm.
catches your ear and that just changes the feel completely. And like, yeah, I agree, man. That is so cool.
Oh, it's like a. And then
Nice.
what's Fugazi?
Fugazi.
Busters be Fugazi, bitches be Fugazi, or Fugazi. This is for Fugazi.
Fugazi was a band, but I don't, it might have
Oh,
another, it
I
might
thought it
have,
sounded familiar, but
wait, let me just see. I want to just check the spelling quickly. This is for Fugazi. Yeah, I think, yeah, Fugazi, unless that's like another term or something. I don't know. Yeah, they were yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a term or anything. They were a band, like a almost like a, I wouldn't say punk. It's more like
Like ska or something.
post hardcore sort of band. They were, but it says here, I just quickly looked them up. It says they formed in 1986 in Washington. Yeah, they are quite hardcore. I remember listening to them in high school. They were like, it's quite like hard. I can't listen to that stuff all the time. It's like, but it's cool. Like, yeah, I had a friend of mine in high school that was big into them. And like, do you remember a band called MXPX? Do you remember them?
No.
Oh, yeah, they were like, they're still going, I think, actually, MXPX.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, they always did like Warped Tour and stuff. And yeah, they formed in 92. MXPX.
Quick little type of question. So the street slang meaning of fugazi says fugazi means fake, fraudulent, or not what it appears to be. Derived from Italian slang, entered American street and hip hop vernacular, meaning something counterfeit, like fake jewelry, people, fake loyalty.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah, in context, that makes pretty sense. So, people be fugazi, women be fugazi. This is for fugazi.
Got you. Probably not referencing the punk band.
Probably not. That would be a very interesting, like breaking the fourth wall of the genre.
Yeah, well, I can't like.
Oh, you know,
I imagine he would be open to doing like a collaboration with like a rock band or something. Like, I think he could pull it off. I think you'd be so cool with that.
I think so. I wonder. I think from what I assume from the little that I know of his character and him as a person, I feel like his priorities are what can he do to further rap as a culture.
Yeah, but doesn't mean you're gonna like abandon it forever. I'm just saying as like an experiment.
No. For sure. Where like as people like John Mayer are more interested in the music and like musical interactions.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, I'd love to see it. Not saying. I was just thinking, like, extending the question. Just wondering. Sorry, I didn't mean to crush your bubble about him.
No, no, not at all.
Going with the punk band.
No, because even I was thinking, like, when we were talking about him doing something with, like, John Mayer Trio. Like,
yeah, no, it's true.
That would be cool.
Yeah, punk band. I wonder what kind of rap you'd do with a punk band.
Oh, not like, not necessarily them, not necessarily like Fugazi, but like, I just mean like in general, like
just like cool. Any like more contemporary rock.
It was like when Jay-Z did the thing with Linkin Park.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
You know, they all did. Run DMC. I mean, Rick Rubin, he was the dude who did that first. Like he did that with Run DMC and Aerosmith. Walk This Way.
Yeah.
He did that like kind of collab.
Yeah, good shots. Actually, I forgot about all those tracks. Yeah.
You see, I got the knowledge, man. No. You know.
Yeah, that's true. I poke holes, and then you just
I know music history. I know spirituality. I know. You know what I mean?
I know everything.
I don't know everything. I can't say that.
I know parenting. I know husband. I know.
Yes, I know parenting up to this point. I don't beyond this. I'll never say I know parenting outright. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Because I feel like every day I'm learning something new. Because when you think you have something down, it all changes. Oh man. Anyway, what do we got? 2 tracks.
Big yawn in your face.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, we can do it. We
got 2 trackies to go. 1:45. We can keep this at just under 2 hours potentially.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could. We can do a very quick exit.
Okay, so we're doing I is the next one.
Which I never realized before, but it's because I don't look at the track titles when I'm listening to the album. But there's a U and there's an I.
The one's outward and the one's looking inward, right?
Yeah. Or is the U upward because it's a U? No, it's outward. I'm just making a stupid joke. I'm sorry. It's that time of night.
No, that was legitimately something I like. I noticed is that like the you thing was about he was talking outward to things and
Mm.
like how he affects things in his like sort of sphere and like around him and in
Mm.
his vicinity. I was like more. I took as more like an inward looking, yeah, inward on himself, like giving himself love, and you was more like his sort of like putting himself apart and like almost hating on himself and like looking at all these like insecurities and his like
Mm.
all that kind of stuff. Almost not quite self hatred. I wouldn't go that far, but like kind of really like sort of downing on himself, like all the insecurities and all that stuff. And then I found was more like a self love sort of,
Mm.
um, actually respecting his like good qualities and the good things about him.
Mm. Mm.
I don't know. I don't know if you got that, but
Yeah, well, I hadn't actually listened to the song. It was, I think, what drew my attention most in this track is just his spoken thing at the end
okay.
when he speaks about like the like Negas, like the like Ethiopian royalty title of Negus, and him like talking about that whole um, etymology of like that word,
Okay.
as opposed to the racial slur from like American history, and like kind of um, I don't know if I'll edit that word out or not. I might do that I said it because I just don't know about the politics of it. Um, but it's almost like reclaiming the word, but like finding a new origin of where it came from and like
Right.
inheriting that meaning of it rather than the meaning that was put on because of like systemic racism and stuff. Um, but yeah, looking at the lyrics, I see what you mean though about him. Like, I love myself, and um, yeah, I was just looking through the lyrics 'cause I hadn't actually looked at these ones properly. I think I jumped a few tracks and then straight to Mortal Man because
Okay, cool.
Mortal Man is like the track that I was like really fascinated by. Um,
Yeah. We can skip to that if you want. Because I mean, sort of what I've said is kind of,
Hmm.
yeah. I don't know if there's much more to speak on this one. Because Mortal Man is like a
Oh
big
no,
one because that sort of
definitely.
like wraps up the whole album. So
Mm. I went to war last night with no automatic weapon. Don't call no automatic. I'm gonna do it till I get it right. Went to war last night. I'm just looking at the lyrics now because I'm
yeah,
actually
yeah,
checking from. Ducking every blessing I can see the message. You can do it, but we. And then it's weird. It's just there's a whole fight that pulls up. But I wonder if that fight actually plays into what the song's about in a weird way. I've not actually thought about this through, and this isn't the time and place to do all that thinking and processing now. But yeah, I just wonder because it's got to be an artistic choice to have that little like altercation um, in the recording. So I'm just
yeah,
like wondering what it actually serves apart from like a sort of vessel to have the spoken word thing at the end, which maybe it is. Um, yeah, but yeah, Mortal Man.
yeah. Let's do it. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
What was
Okay.
your It's a weird outro song. This
That's what.
it's a weird outro song, like musically, like last song on the album. Just listening to it now.
It's a heck of a opus. It's like 12 minutes.
Yeah, I think half of that is just him talking with Tupac.
Mm.
Yeah, did you get any? Did you have anything specific on this track that stood out to you?
Um, I think what I really like is like how he's sort of blended, like, so he keeps talking about like kind of Compton and kind of like where he is now, you know, like his past and like his future and the two things. And I think what's cool with this is like he draws that same sort of thing with him and Tupac, like him being the future and Tupac being the past. And like, you know, he's come from that, like he, you know, grew up listening to Tupac and now he's taken that and it's like a part of his musical journey, a part of who he is really. And now he's taking it into the future, you know. And I think that's really cool. And it's such a unique. I think it was on that MTV interview where he talks about like how he got the like recording of Tupac, like some reporter, like or like a journalist or something, like came and like gave it to him and said like I think you should have this. Like I think you know you'll really appreciate.
Did I send
this.
that to you, or did you? Send
No,
it
I found that. Yeah,
you found that because I think I found that same video, same interview.
It's the dude interviewing him with the cap to the side, right? With the glasses on, and he's like,
yeah, maybe.
And they're sitting very close to each other. They're like,
yeah.
That was. I just thought that was quite a cool sort of like comparison of like, between Compton and his like current sort of like success and like his like sort of future, and then Tupac being the past and him being the future, you know, because everyone's like equating him to, well, not equating, but like saying, you know, calling him as like one of the greats. He will be like one of the greats in history for his like unique voice. And so, yeah, I find it's quite cool how it's almost, what's the word, like kind of almost like ahead of his time, because obviously like in 2015 he wasn't as big as he is now, you know. So it's almost like he's calling that he's going to be something special. And like, yeah, I don't know, I was just saying the same thing over and over again. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. And I think it's such a cool way to end an album with an interview, that it's not just, you know, just a song playing for like 5 minutes or whatever. But yeah, that was my biggest take, really.
Yeah, and they kind of, and it's called Mortal Man. I don't know if he mentioned in that same interview, but it's called Mortal Man because he almost, like he is, it's like unavoidable that it's going to be regarded as one of the greats because he can't control how people view him, you know, and like the platform that he has. But he still considers himself a mortal man. So he asks questions like, I'm doing that thing again where I'm like, I'm going to go find some lyrics and sound really clever. And then I can't find any of the lyrics and they just sound like not very clever. But he says like, oh my gosh, I just saw those lyrics as well. But he says like, if all these things happen to me, like if I did cocaine and I crashed a car and, you know, I drank and was arrested and stuff, would you see me as just that kid that did that stuff, or would you see me as Kendrick Lamar? You know, like would you, as like are people's impression of him or idea of who Kendrick Lamar is just based on, is it just the butterfly, or do they know him as the caterpillar as well? If that's the right way of using that metaphor.
Yeah.
Something, I feel like there's so many layers to that metaphor. You could use it any way you want.
Well, that also goes back to the whole thing of like where you've come from and where you are now, you know, like caterpillar, and now he's become this butterfly, this like huge mega star. He's come from his humble beginnings, and I mean that thing just goes through the whole album. But yeah.
But I find we haven't really mentioned it too much, but the spoken word thing that he slowly reveals throughout the album, I think is part of what makes this album a work of art, because it's like this evolving idea or like narrative. Like I remember he was conflicted, misusing influence. Sometimes I did the same. And then it goes on and it's like, or maybe how A1 my foundation was, but my loved ones was fighting a continuous war back in the city. I was entering a new one, a war that was based on apartheid and discrimination. Made me want to go back to the city and tell homies what I learned. The word was respect. And then it like goes into the whole racial divide or like interracial divide dynamic. And then forgetting all this pain and hurt we caused each other in the streets. If I respect you, we unify and stop the enemy from killing us. But I don't know, I'm no mortal man. Maybe I'm just another buster. And it's just like really interesting how I feel like as the album's gone on, and like the songs at the end seem like quite focused on that racial divide or like interracial divide. But that's sort of where the spoken poetry part gets to in that part of the album. And yeah, and then he goes into interview with Tupac, which is really cool.
Yeah, I just think it's such a unique way to end an album. It's really, really cool. Who?
Yeah, and
oh yeah.
No, I was gonna say it's cool because like it's an interview that Tupac was like an interview of Tupac that was never actually aired or never actually got heard by anyone. And it was crazy how poignant that was what he was talking about there. And the album in 2015, like what, 15 or like 14 years later or something. And it's still as relevant as like exactly what the album was about as well.
Yeah.
It was just like a really cool tie-in. And then exactly the same as what you were saying, like the whole heritage of that culture and how Kendrick is now like sort of spearheading that heritage. Yeah, it's good. It's like deep diving the album has made me like appreciate so much more of the broader rap culture. Like I've learned so much more. I've seen so many more interviews with Jay-Z even and things. YouTube's just fed me all this stuff now.
Yeah, the algorithm is picked up.
Yeah. But it's no longer just F1 and tennis and video games. It's now rap interviews.
Oh man, that's cool though. I love it when that happens. Like when you just kind of you deep dive and then you didn't even realize there was this whole other like world going on. And yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's been a crazy experience. Thanks for letting me do that for us.
Yeah, man. I found it super interesting. And like you say, I was like going down rabbit holes. Like I said, like I watched like all these Rick Rubin interviews and then like Jay-Z with Rick Rubin with like Dre and like all these like it just kind of all went over the place. And then yeah. And then that Kendrick interview with that guy. I don't know who that guy was, but on MTV.
Yeah.
That was cool. And Zane Lowe. What's the Zane Lowe one?
Yeah, I watched a couple of those.
And the Rick Rubin one.
He's really thoughtful. Like he seems to always take time to think. Like he doesn't have like any fillers with like but like he just sits silently and then he talks. And then he'll like turn away and sit and think. And then he talks. And he gives like very straight answers. He's like quite an interesting character in that way.
And also what's pretty common in like sort of rap culture is like, you know, the guys come in and they're all quite like bombastic, quite like in your face, you know, big chains, big like, you know, it's that whole like thing. Very much, look at me, I'm here. But he's just doesn't seem like that. Like he seems very like kind of reserved and quite quiet. And very juxtaposed to like what you would think like a rapper would be. Like he's just very
or like even chilled. Like he makes me think of like Bob Thorpe in that regard. Where in person he's super chilled, but then on stage is a monster.
Yes, it's so true.
He's got like crazy creative energy and he's so expressive.
Yeah. But that's cool because
It's
it
almost
just
like he,
lets
he
the
needs that
performance.
platform to let that out, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That like becomes
Mm.
like he doesn't need to sort of like say stuff to you like this. Like he can just leave that for the stage, and then he can just be like a real, like normal person, like face to face. You know, not this big bravado of like I'm a rapper with loads of money. Look at like, you know, all my stuff. It's just like, or like saying loads of things. You know, he just kind of is more thoughtful, like you say.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool album, man.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Thanks, dude.
No worries, man. Well, yeah, audience, thanks for following us on that. If you have, um,
All
hopefully
4 hours of this.
the final podcast will be a bit more concise than our experience of recording it. I'm sure it will be if I do my job right.
Oh man, nah, you always do a good job.
Thank you, Carl. 3 words. We each have 3 words that we wrap up the album as like a little Netflix-like abbreviation of what the experience of listening to this was like.
On the fly, I've got a few. I've got 2.
Okay. Do you want to kick us off? We can take turns.
Yeah. I was gonna say introspective. 1 word. Do you have one?
Raw. RAW, not ROAR.
I didn't think. Didn't think it was a
It's
lion.
not Katy Perry.
Yeah, I know. I suppose this ties in with raw, but honest.
Yeah. Let's go with the bombastic.
Bombastic, nice.
He kind of just says it as it is.
I would say, might be bold, but I'm gonna say pioneering.
Oh yeah.
Because I definitely feel like, I mean, look, I'm not like a rap aficionado, or hip hop aficionado, but like I've listened to a fair amount of it, but like I've never heard an album like this. Like it's very different and like just so artistically expressive. It's really cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick a word that I think Kendrick might pick for himself.
Okay.
Yeah, I think prophetic.
Prophetic. In what sense?
In that he's speaking into a culture from he was part of the culture, but now he's, because of who he is and what he's achieved, he's kind of outside the culture, speaking back into it. And prophets in the Bible were never like part of the establishments in governments. Prophets were always on the outside speaking into the communities. So, and he's trying to like push the communities to think broader than themselves and to progress, you know, the dynamics and things, not for the good, you know, for the good of people in the culture. So, yeah.
Nice.
That's prophetic. And he, he's like sort of self-described as doing God's work in what he says. That's his understanding of it. So, yeah, I feel like at least his intentions and what he says and all that. But yeah, so
cool.
Carl, do we have homework for whenever this podcast comes up and pops its head up again?
We are gonna aim at being more consistent here. Like,
oh yeah. And this was
yes,
by no means a jab.
So there are homework. It's 11 p.m. right now, so yes, there are homework. So I had the task of deciding between two albums. I've been going back and forth for the last week.
Okay.
So this might. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure you know this band. I decided to go with this band because.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. I think so.
Okay. The album is The Suburbs, Arcade Fire.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, I listened to this ages ago. Oh, nice, man. It's another 16 tracker.
I know. And it's
oh, cool. Okay. I've not listened to this in a long while.
I mean, to give you some perspective, they're like a 9-piece band or something. It's like a Slipknot vibe. There's like,
whoa,
they're like
really?
8 or 9-piece band, and there's the instrumentation alone, dude, is like, I mean, you could probably just do a podcast on the instrumentation. It's like, they all play like, they all swap instruments like all the time. And there's like
that's rad.
violins and like all sorts of crazy stuff. Anyway, they got like weird instruments too. Anyway, very cool. But this album is also, I kind of was inspired by the Kendrick thing because this album they wrote about their whole like upbringing and their hometown and obviously now that they're like grown and they have their own kids and they've you know it's like kind of they're looking at it, they would look like kind of like looks back on their upbringing and like now as parents what it's like bringing up kids, you know, it's like that kind of so it's like these two different perspectives of growing up and yeah, and it goes deeper than that, but it's a very cool album.
Nice.
It's always been one of my favorites.
Yeah, I remember liking it, but I've never actually fully like gone through it deeply, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
They have a new single out.
Oh yeah, they do. They actually have, I think they have a new album. Did they bring out an album last year? No.
Well, there is an album from last year.
Yeah.
Pink Elephant.
That's the one. Yeah, it came out. I knew they had one recently. But anyway, yeah. You know how I heard about these guys, just side note, is randomly once, like back in the early 2000s, I don't know when it was, but Chris Martin was in an interview and they were like asking him like, what are you listening to at the moment? And he was like, oh, this is a great album by Arcade Fire. But it was like their very first album. It was like, well, I'll tell you what it was called. Funeral in 2004. It was
wow. Jeez.
Yeah. And
sure, they've been going for a while.
Yeah. There's also like, it's interesting as well because the lead singer and the violinist, I think they married. But she's like got Haitian heritage. So there's like,
oh, no, it is.
There's like a bit of that like comes into it. She was born in Haiti, I think, and then moved to the States or to Canada at some point because they're Canadian. But yeah, anyway, it's very interesting. I'm sure you'll see it all and check it all out. But yeah, cool. So yeah, The Suburbs.
Want to send us out of here, Carl?
Yes. Okay, guys. Thanks for listening. As usual, you can find us on Instagram at The Buds Pod UK, YouTube at The Buds Podcast UK, and email. As I always say, Mike loves an email, thebudspodcast.uk at gmail.com. I'm yet to have
Don't
an email.
Don't forget your carrier pigeons.
Can somebody send a freaking email?
Please send an email. I really want to read an email.
Send questions, send suggestions. I feel like I'm just talking into the ether here, but I know there's people listening. There are like 11, 12 people listening consistently, which
there we go.
Awesome.
That's great.
We can grow this puppy, man. We can grow it.
Yeah, there we go.
This is the thing. If we should do this at the beginning, because if people aren't listening at the end of 2 hours,
please only email us if you got to the end of these 2 hours.
That would be amazing.
All you have to do is email and say, I did it. That's what my daughter says at the moment. Every time she gives a party, she goes, I did it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, man. Okay, maybe she'll send me an email.
Maybe. Gosh, not too soon.
I'd be impressed if she could sit through 4 hours of Kendrick Lamar.
Maybe one day. Maybe this is cataloging the stage of our life. It's like our parenting podcast without actually being titled a parenting podcast. I feel like vicariously you get a lot of that drama.
Oh, yeah, man. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for
Cool.
listening, and we shall see you next time.
Love you, bro. Good chat. Bye, guys.
Bye.